Welcome to another video. Today we're taking a look at Reefroids by Pull-Up Lab. I have previously used all brands of coral foods, however this is the first time I'm using Reefroids. Right off the bat, I've noticed how the product oozes of quality. Something I already like about the product are the clear instructions and also the content list. One of the reasons I decided to switch to Reefroids is that it is made of zooplankton. Zooplankton is incredibly abundant in the oceans, and it is also the natural diet of corals. It has been scientifically proven that zooplankton is one of the main sources of carbon for corals. In the food chain, zooplankton remains one of the building blocks, and that's why it's so important. It has been found that most organisms in the ocean contain the same ratio of carbon, nitrogen, and phosphor. This is called the Redfield ratio. When you feed your corals zooplankton, you ensure they get the optimal ratio of these atoms. Another reason why you have to feed your corals is because of nitrogen. Most people assume that their corals just utilize the nitrate in the reef tank. This is correct, but it's also a problem. Nitrogen is mainly used to synthesize amino acids. These amino acids may be put together to peptide bonds and then to peptide chains. These peptide chains can become proteins. Here's where the problem occurs. Not all amino acids can be synthesized by the coral itself. It has to take some of these amino acids from other sources, such as food. These amino acids are called essential amino acids, and here's the list of them. So now you're probably wondering, does this even matter to how my coral looks? Coral fluorescence is caused by fluorescent proteins. As an example, green fluorescence is caused by GFP. As it is a protein, it is built by amino acids. GFP comprises 238 amino acids, so you can definitely be sure that some essential amino acids has to be present to synthesize it. If we look at the part of GFP which is responsible for its color, namely the chromophore, we can also see in this green box that nitrogen is essential. So what's really awesome about Reefroids is that it is made of 60% of proteins, so we don't really have to worry about all of these issues if we use Reefroids. Besides that, Reefroids also contain fats and fibers, but I think that's a topic for another video. I think we can agree that it doesn't really matter what it's made of if the corals don't want to eat it, so let's try it out. So make sure you follow the instructions. I only use 1/8 of a teaspoon as I have a really small tank. Make sure you stir it a lot before you feed your corals. I know some people broadcast feed with Reefroids, but I would suggest you target feed. It's pretty obvious that there's an instant reaction to the food from the coral. This is sped up 10 times. Pay attention to how the coral utilizes its mucus to draw in the food. I decided to use it on some of my other corals to see how they responded. Looks like my frog spawn really likes it. I decided to test it on my Leptastria as it has really small polyps. However, after some time it actually became clear that it was ingesting the Reefroids. Lastly, I wanted to try it on my Cyanarina, my favorite coral. It's so cool to see how it redistributes its water to access the food. Sadly, I couldn't keep my clown goby from trying to get some of the goods. So far, I'm pretty impressed with the performance of Reefroids. I'm planning on using Reefroids for a couple of weeks before I make any conclusions on its effectiveness. I hope some of this information was helpful. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.